And I'm pretty sure Chris is out of town.
We're
Chris is on
so-
vacation.
All right, let's call the July 19th TV Scott Free Library Board of Trustees meeting to order. You have, well, let's introduce our new member.
Yeah.
Mike Kaler. I think you know some of us. I don't know, do you know all of us?
I don't know everybody, but
Really?
I can introduce myself to all of you and what kind of brings me here today. So, as you may or may not know, I'm on the Merrill City Council. I'm the representative for the historic Second Ward, and I have a lot of confessing to do this morning. My parents drugged me as a child. They drugged me to this library building at least once a week, if not twice a week. And every book sale and every summer program and everything, I got drugged here.
That explains why you're warped.
And it grew on me, and it grew on me, and it grew on me. And so as an adult, I started coming here a lot, and I wrote a column for the Photo News for years, and unfortunately due to space constraints, it was pushed out. But the genealogy room upstairs was my haven, and the only thing I hated about the library is when it closed, and I had to get out of here. But my dad, when he was a mayor, Merrill is very tumultuous with money, as we are now. And it was, should we build a library, should we build a library, should we do the library? And as any mayor will tell you, I'm just a tie-breaking vote. And my dad had a 4-4 tie, said, I guess I'm the tie-breaking vote. And he voted to build the building that we see next to us now and renovate this building, obviously. So he was actually, that was the most proud thing of his whole entire tenure as mayor, is this building. So I have it very deep to my heart. I know my sister's on this board, and she really liked her time here. And as I said, I like anything that makes Merrill look good. This building makes Merrill look good. So when Alderman Blake announced his retirement from the city council, I wanted two things. One was his chair, because you wouldn't believe the chair they wanted. It was really beautiful at city council meetings. So I took that over, and I really wanted to be on this board. And the mayor has given me that opportunity, and I hope to serve you all well.
Okay, so who? I'm Mike Geisler, but
I'm Katie Brightman, and I have no intro to match.
Okay.
So I'm just Katie Brightman.
I worked with your husband, I believe, before out at the farm.
Correct.
With yeah, and I used to work for the sheriff's office for 27 years. I retired, as I said, but my wife has to keep me alive for a few more years before I can collect. I actually have a apprentice funeral director's license, and I help out locally at Taylor's Time Funeral Home, and help out a couple others too, because like every place, nobody has anywhere to work. So yeah, your husband helped us out with a burial out there. That's,
Yes, correct.
yep.
Yes.
So, and,
Brian Martinovich, maps.
oh, you're Pam's.
Who?
Pam's? No,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
No, speaking of-
You're wrong. You're
Long
thinking of the wrong
last- long
guy.
last-
Different
You're thinking of the wrong guy.
No.
No, I was the middle school principal.
Okay.
And now I'm director of Head Start and principal at Pioneer School for Young Learners.
Okay.
Audrey?
Oh, I know, we know very
Oh,
well.
okay.
Sure.
And you know me because
We
you're stuck
serve,
on
yeah.
multiple committees with me that meet on Wednesdays.
6 o'clock.
Right, and soon.
Oh, that's right, I saw that in the schedule, I'm like, oh, they're gonna go from here to there.
We do, right, and there's another committee a county committee that he's about to be appointed to that I'm on, so he's stuck with me.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Welcome. I like that historic second ward. I think mine is VR Willard's edition,
You're
District
very
3,
close,
also
yeah.
historic, although Darren Poggle insists on calling him Weird Willard. What does he say about my neighborhood?
So it's Wednesdays with Elizabeth. That's
Yeah.
the book I'm reading.
I'm Richard Mamer. I've been on the board, I think, 36 years. Anyway,
I won't top you.
I was put on the board because Anita Gebhardt, who had been the treasurer or financial secretary forever, died. And so they needed somebody to do the reporting and the foundation, the endowment fund. And here I am. If you'd like to take the job over, it's open. Anybody?
I own a business on Main Street too. I don't talk about it much, but I see you walk by there almost every day.
Okay, I hope not to go the way Anita went, but maybe that's the only way out of the job.
Let's pass this place.
you know the two of us, right?
Yeah.
All right, do you have any correspondence you'd like to share with us this afternoon?
Not with me, but we've had young patrons and their families so happy with the summer program, and lots of comments just in passing and over the phone and things of that nature, so just wanted to add that in there. Yeah. great. I mean, our doors were busting this summer, that's all I gotta say, and I am so excited about the staff I have in youth services and the staff we have in the building, and I'll tell you, they all pitched in. It was awesome.
And we appreciate that. Any public comment? We got a guest tonight. You have you're just gonna
I'm just
critique us or
listening.
something?
I looked at the agenda and I thought there might be some interesting things, and I haven't been.
She's retired after how many years from here?
20, 21.
So she's got a little experience too. Thank you. And what's your pleasure for the minutes of the last meeting, June 21st?
I'll vote to approve.
A second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes from June 21st meeting, TV Scott Free Library meeting. Any comments or questions? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, they are approved. How about the monthly expense and income and expense report for June? What's your pleasure on that?
If he doesn't have any issues, then I make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the income, revenue and expense report for June. Any discussion? We've got a couple of them that are negative, but
Yeah.
It just looks like the utilities
Lord,
bill
no.
is
Yeah, it,
gone berserk still.
right, and and that, I mean, that will be, that's an adjustment I'm making for next year, so that it looks a little bit better.
Okay.
and if you notice, there's no expense, no current expense this month for the fuel. That's because of public service, so
Yes.
we'll get her next time.
We had one big, like, 6,000 plus bill for July because they were having some issues, WPS was having some billing issues, so we couldn't get in. So.
And then just one other question, the special projects, where almost everything that we've spent for the year was spent in this period, is that like the furniture and stuff? What's the $2,400?
No, that's maintenance and repair, that's with Nick.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Mr. Richard, your
Okay, and I got-
mid-year endowment fund report, please.
Yeah, and I got some more issues other than just the endowment fund. We'll get to that after the endowment fund. There's one for you and Mike. And if you want to send these that way, and if you don't want them, I prefer to keep them because I hate to have them floating around in public. Not that there's anything confidential about them. Okay, this is the 6-month statement. I don't know how I got blood all over this one, but anyway.
It's a tougher job than we
Yeah.
thought.
Okay, the assets, I think we need to note that they're very much different than they were in the past. With interest rates going sky high and all our CDs maturing, we now have 2 major CDs, 225,000 with Edward Jones, and these are all insured up to $250,000 by the U.S. government, so you don't have to worry about them going broke. But we got that one, and then another old CD matured, and now at the Incredible Bank, we have about $201,000, and those are both, one of them's at 475 and the other one's at 485, so they're going to generate darn close to $20,000 a year of additional interest income that we haven't had in the past. So we're going to have a lot of available money, and add to that the fact that we didn't spend any money during the pandemic, and so we've got a lot of money. Well, I'll just tell you right now, we got about $175,000 available cash, and that'll grow to $200,000 with all this interest. Assume we'll continue to get donations.
Yeah, really, darn.
Yeah, well, we got to think about it.
Richard, were we gonna move something? Were we gonna close out one of these smaller ones and consolidate?
Oh, I did, one of them.
Okay.
I got rid of the Jane's, not Jane Zander.
The Pearl
Walden, yeah.
Walden.
And the Arnold top.
I don't know whether
Okay.
whether the 20 years or 25 years was over, but
Okay.
it was generating $100 a year, which was
Yeah.
supposed to go for books. And then after 20 or 25 years, it reverted back to the
Got it. To the main
main
endowment.
fund, so
Great, so one less
I
thing.
just did it because I was tired of messing with it.
Perfect.
So you can see we've got $584,000. And that's nice, but it's bad, and you're gonna hear about that here in a minute. Receipts, standard bequest, because of, I can't even tell you which investment we had that kind of went sour, so the income went from 43,000 down to 41,700. Otherwise, there's not much there that's very exciting. We spent $32,000 in the first 6 months of the year, and at the end of the report, I have a detailed list of what we spent it on. So that adds up to the $584,000 you saw on page 1. These are the 6 funds that we currently have. There's the Endowment Fund, the Memorial Book Fund, which I wish we could get rid of, but I don't know how. The Zander bequest, that's the $40,000 that her trust made last year. So annually, we transfer that money from the Edward Jones account into the Endowment Fund account. The Bolden Tockley Fund, as you see, it disappeared, 0. Special projects, I kind of, without any rhyme or reason, I just take all the current expenditures out of special projects until that runs out, and then I start taking it out of the Zander bequest. That's just a random choice. And then the $25,550 that we collected to eliminate the column in the middle of the room, which we never did. And the donor said, no, keep the money and spend it however you want to. And so that's also available for us. The final page is just an analysis of the endowment fund, which you cannot spend the principal on, only spend the unspent interest, which at this point is minus $535 as we overspent the fund last year. And the Vansel request, which is also an endowment, which we can't spend the principal on. The final page is not really part of the report, but it shows you a detail of the checks I wrote in the first 6 months of the year. Because of some confusion, we had the graphic house bill went to the city of Merrill, and they paid it, and then they reimbursed us. Or we reimbursed them.
Double.
I can't tell you what those things are, but I'm sure Lori is.
Premier's the new sign out front. The graphic house was the new electronic sign. We were having, it just, the software and all of that was running it no longer could be upgraded, and so we had to go with a new sign, so.
This one of the 20-year expiration dates.
Yes, one of those, yes. So, and MSR design, of course, that was our space needs study.
Okay.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve the report.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve
Okay.
Richard's report. Any-
I got some more issues here.
Oh boy.
Because we went over $500,000 in assets, we had to file the major
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
29 pages of Just
Question.
Yeah, they think they're the Rockefellers or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but anyway, I'm not computer literate. I do a lot of things with computer, but I'm not really good with them. So I had Brian's new employee do this for me, and I'm thankful that he was able and he knew what he's doing. If anybody wants to look at it, it's available. It has to be made available to the board to examine. Lori's going to have a copy. I've got a copy if any of you want to look at it. You can look at it after the meeting. You can come to my office or Lori if you want to read through some really boring stuff that put your teeth to sleep.
I'll put the coffee on.
Yeah. Last but not least, I have a bill from Brian Richards for $400, which I'd like the board to approve. 135 of that is just the cost of the software that you have to have. The other 265, I'm charging you for Brian, or Zach is actually the guy that did it for his time. So he had about 3 hours in it.
Yeah.
It'll get easier in the future, but
I can make an amendment and include approval of the final payment.
okay.
Is there a second yet?
That's coming from,
Second.
that disbursement is coming from the endowment fund.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to.
No, I just said this,
Yeah,
just make sure that everybody knows that that's where we're taking
yeah,
it from.
I'll go down and get the check and give it to Brian.
It's money well spent.
Okay.
And who's, you seconded? You seconded, you agree with the second? You amend the second? You got that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All in favor of approval of the report and the fee to go along with it, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it is approved.
Okay,
Thanks,
one
Richard.
other tiny issue. I want to get rid of this.
Ready to amend again?
This job. I've been at it for 35 years. If any of you would like to take it over, you're welcome to it.
We're voting Darcy because she's not here.
Okay. I go for that. But anyway, I'll continue to do it until I can't or. But anyway, the position is open.
Position is open. All right, thanks. All right, thanks, Richard. The next item is our budget for 2024.
All right.
You know, I never know where in the agenda the statistics fit, but I think they go with the budget. Because the statistics bear out the need you have for the budget. I never know where you want me to make my monthly comment that statistics are up. I would like to note that in the adult department, statistics, borrowing is up 7.3%. Foot traffic was up like 200% or something like that.
We've been.
I never know where
Crazy
you
busy.
want me to comment on that.
Should we put an item in there?
Why
Why
don't
you add that?
I can add that.
So that I can make that
Yeah.
comment every month.
I'll add that for right after
I
the
think-
I mean,
revenue expense
we
report right
laugh,
there.
but
Okay,
you know,
yep,
the
yep.
other thing I note here, as the representative of the county board here, is that county traffic, use of the library by county patrons is also up. And that makes a huge difference when we go, because we're going to talk about the budget, when you go back to the county and anybody who whines. The answer is the numbers are up in the city and the numbers are up in the county. This is a facility that is still being used regularly by everyone, not just people who live in 54452.
All right.
And that's why it's important for me to build that into the record, is this has been consistent for at least the last 7 months.
Yeah,
Right.
it's been, and recently, just to add to that, is the traffic that we've seen come from the council grounds has been unbelievable this summer. It's just really bizarre.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, and they're willing to share that with us, so,
cool.
yeah.
So that's,
Okay, we'll add that. But anyway, this is
Okay.
the pretty colored one we're talking about.
All right. So, I mean, I have just a few things that I will state first, and then we can talk if that's okay. Let's see where. Find it, there it is. All right. So obviously you see that our budget is looking at a 43,611 increase. Well, you had indicated that the traffic from the county has gone up. The county's percentage for next year's budget is based upon the 2022 numbers, and that has gone down from 43.9% to 42.3%. The county will see an increase of just roughly $11,231.44 from the 2023 budget. The city will see an increase of $40,976.56 from the 2023 budget based upon what is being proposed. The increase is closely related to the increase in fixed expenses, primarily utilities. We've been hit really hard with that, utilities alone, and that's been citywide. Utilities alone increased by 150% over last year's budget. Some of that had to do with, just how the budget was set up. Computer and network, just to note, some savings we will see. I reflected that computer and network maintenance contractor was eliminated from the budget with roughly an overall cost savings of approximately $6,500. He moved out of the area. It was just more difficult for him to come in, but we fortunately hired a person here and have a person here on staff that is able to do some of that now, and with the help of Wisconsin Valley Library Service, so we were fortunate in that respect. Adult programming, we are strictly running that in-house with elimination of the contracted positions. We had one person retire and then another individual that was kind of cutting back anyway. So we had a cost savings. We have a cost savings approximately of $3,000 at this point. That that could change, obviously. Overall, we are seeing an increase in all material costs, books, library supplies, office supplies, and that is reflected in those budget numbers. Our personnel budget numbers each year are provided by the city finance director, Kathy Nertle. She provided the WRS and health insurance predictions with about a 5% increase at this point in the city's budget process. That obviously can change. And salary staff considerations, both at 2024 cost of living and step increases would be amount to $16,705. So those are my notes. Questions?
Any questions, comments? And this is what you're going to submit to the county in the near future?
Yeah, well, it'll go to the city. Goes tomorrow. I will submit it to the city. City personnel and finance will meet next week, and then after that, then it goes to the county.
Oh, okay.
Then it goes to the county. Yeah, it goes to the city first, and then to the county. Yep.
Any comments or questions? Or?
I made mine already.
It's just, that's life in the fast lane now. Like I said, gas went up 20 cents a gallon, what, between yesterday and today? So.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, 20 cents in Merrill. I don't know what it did. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I'll go home and be the same also.
Anyway, somebody want to make a motion to approve the proposed budget?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the proposed budget of what, $1,055,000
Yep.
for 2024. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Thank you. Thank you very much for all the work you did on it. Been there, done that. Right, Richard?
Yeah.
Anna Blair's coffee truck to go. They want to use our parking lot. Since we got a nice new parking lot, now they want to use it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. No, I visit the city shops religiously on my lunch hour and other times when I can. So, and one of them, the gal asked me if we would be interested in having them set up their coffee truck here. My suggestion, well, we talked about the staff park, or the front parking lot. My suggestion would be to have it in the staff parking lot. That would, I mean, that would allow parking still for our patrons to be here and anything else. And we would still, even with having something like that, you know, a vendor of that nature parked out in the staff parking lot, we would still have ample parking for staff. And I think it's just a nice way for us to, you know, allow our community members to use our space.
Yeah. It'd be close to our overflow parking too, across the street. from there.
Yeah. And I like my coffee, so I'm really excited about that. And you know, and I know that by doing this, you know, there very well could be some other requests along the way, and I'm open to those requests. I know we have businesses that have food trucks in the area, things of that nature. So, but she asked, and I said I would bring it to the board and we would discuss it.
How often would she like to come?
She's kind of moving around town, so you know, maybe once every couple of months, something like that. Yeah.
Will she tap into any of your building's resources such as electricity?
Nope, she wouldn't need to. No, she's got all of that.
Somebody want to make a motion to approve her request? I take it as no charge to us.
No charge to us. No.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, because I'm gonna buy some,
I'll
but
second that.
Right.
Motion made and second to approve Anna Blair's coffee truck request. Any other discussion?
Yeah, so it might be worth our while to try and compile a list of everybody who at least has a city of Merrill address and has a food truck, and kind of make sure that we reach out to them and give equal opportunity to all of them. They may not be interested because some of them are, you know, dinner oriented or whatever, but in the interests of sort of, you know, equal opportunity for people throughout the community. And I'm not just saying this because I love Thai food and would like to see.
Yeah, and that was, and you know, that was my initial, you know,
Yeah.
thought along the way as I was talking. I'm like, I'm open to
Different
yeah.
days of the week, right, and different times or whatever, you know, some in summer, so it's worthwhile. You know, it's a community-wide encouragement of entrepreneurship, and I think that, although I'm totally on board with this, which is why I make a motion, at the same time, you know, I could see somebody else saying, why didn't we get that opportunity? And we want to make sure that we do at least try this for a year or so to give a bunch of opportunities out there, and it may turn out that we are the social center of Merrill again.
Well, we've got some wonderful parks here.
That's
you know,
right.
and it's just, and a place to picnic. And
Yep, and so I would say that let's just try and make sure that we get the information out and get the information out to other food truck people, that opportunity exists for them. This was not special treatment of one business, right? It just happened to be an accidental encounter, but it does not forestall anybody else doing something similar. And then if it turns out that it's out of control and, you know, just got like, you know, Restaurant Row, it's like a food court in the mall, then we revisit the policy. But for now, I think that is good community stewardship, unless anybody hates Thai food.
And what's available on this part of town?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor of approval of the request from Anna Blair's coffee truck? Think by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Church property status.
I have no idea.
Maybe we should get his opinion. You got a observation on the church?
They were working on the roof, Mike. I don't know if you know that. They were fixing the roof. I had to have the roof off the parking lot because they were working on the parking lot, so I had to tell them to shift over because they were,
But I thought it was not the roof that's the problem, it's the ceiling that's the problem.
I don't know. They were working on a roof. That's all I know.
They came to the city 2 months ago and they had a plan to put a museum in there. And the gentleman that owns the buildings was there. We said, I didn't say the mayor said, well, we don't have a written plan. We need to see that to consider it. And he said, I'll be back to you next month. And that was 2 months ago and we have yet to see him. So whatever his plans are, they are not being shared with us at this time.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, and make it part of
So
the.
we just take it
Who was
down.
doing the work on the roof?
They
Church
hired
across the
some. They hired a
Private
group
property for
of
now.
guys with a van.
Okay.
We're remember when the camper was parked on the grass?
Yes.
For days on end? And
Yes.
turned out somebody was painting inside
Yes.
there,
Yeah,
supposedly.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
there's
is-
That was
yeah.
one owner ago.
sketchy, sketchy,
Yeah,
sketchy.
right. Yeah, but, and they are going to be painting the stripes on the parking lot, but they won't do the road next to the church right now until we know what's happening.
Who's paying for that, right?
So, yeah, we're just told that was the communications we had, but,
That's good.
yeah, so.
All right,
Okay.
committee appointments. We have one on the personnel and finance and one on maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Do we have any volunteers? Otherwise, I'll make a couple of telephone calls during the month and
Start throwing
assign
darts.
somebody. But I mean, it's, for your information, our committees are not really that active only in emergencies.
Sure.
We do 99% of our business here.
Yeah.
Granted, if there's, she has an emergency that she calls, for the maintenance, but otherwise, we do 99% of the committee work here, so, it does not require a lot of time. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be willing to serve on personnel, but the only problem is if we decide something in this room as personnel and it goes in front of the personnel committee for the city, then that would be double dipping, there would be a conflict.
Okay, that's-
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're stuck with maintenance.
Yep.
This was your opportunity to be on yet another committee
Narrow
with
it
me.
down.
I think you're on the maintenance committee now, right?
Yeah.
See, you guys could,
I,
have you ever met?
no.
See,
Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay.
That's the one you want.
Yeah.
That's the one you want. Okay, all right.
okay, I won't call any, so anybody would like to volunteer for the personnel and finance, well, there again, yes, we had a very active one there for, what, a year ago, or a little after, more a year ago now?
Yeah.
And, but that's the first time since I've been here that we've had a situation that required,
Yeah.
that, so.
Yeah.
So please, please give me a call, or else we'll get somebody next time. Service recognition to a couple of employees.
Yeah, Kay is not here, but that would be Kay. So Kay Andrews, 20 years, and she has asked for a small celebration during our staff meeting, so that's what she'll get, and she'll get some goodies and things like that next week. But
Wow.
she's a plethora of information. She pitches in anywhere and everywhere you want her. She just steps up all the time, so she's amazing. 20 years, and then we have Andrea Bennett.
Who asked for a big celebration?
Another, yeah. So,
She wants a gold watch.
yeah.
Gold shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and.
On behalf of the board, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. She's my right and left hand person.
Our strategic plan and goals, objective number 1. I think based on the activity around here, I think you're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think we had kind of a little bit of breathing room yesterday afternoon for a very short time,
Yeah, for like 3 hours it was quiet for
Yeah,
the first
but-
time since like May.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
And our trustee essential, for your review.
Yep. I give a section every month.
Yep. And your report, please.
Well, summer reading challenge has been crazy. We had, oh my gosh, 500 plus. I mean, we had such an enormous turnout. Our adult department, we held her there, and we had roughly 50 signed up for that. I think the kids are just really sad now because they can't come in and do the scavenger hunts anymore.
We had 750
Yeah.
prizes for scavenger hunts.
Yeah.
That's how many were done.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But
That's
It
awesome.
was great. Yeah, it was.
I like doing it with the kids. Oh, I see one.
Yeah.
It's like torture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, desk duty was not quiet desk duty. By no means. It was not at all. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. We still have the wiggle, giggle, shake, even though our programs kind of take a hiatus for a little bit so we can revamp for fall. We have wiggle, giggle, shake on Thursdays right now. Well, that date might be changing because of some things changing with the children of Wisconsin. We have the multi-generational, while most of the summer stuff is done, we are doing another multi-generational all-together now puzzle competition on Thursday, August 3rd. And then we are doing kind of like a summer reading challenge finale on Saturday, August 5th for the community with activities throughout the library for all ages to enjoy. We have something going on in every room. I think in this room we've got and it's passive, you can just come and go as you want. A lot of puzzle making going on in here. What are you guys doing in the story or room?
I think we're gonna get out the sensory bins.
We're gonna do the sensory bins up there.
Yeah.
Boardroom, we're actually gonna have the movie Clue playing in the room there. And then we're gonna have up in the genealogy room for the day, we've got a long table there, and it's just gonna be some fun adult coloring page. It's just gonna be a big thing out on the table and come and go as you please. So for the 3 hours that we're open that day, just a lot of fun stuff. That we're all together now, Yeah. Nothing to report from the Wisconsin Valley Library System rep, Diane Peterson. Friends of the Library, I had mentioned before, they are on hiatus. I saw someone the other day that said she was really sad they are not meeting much, but she was excited that we were going to be meeting again in September. I mentioned all the numbers for the program. My communication with Crystalline I can never pronounce her last name. Crystalline V from MSR Design. She will have project option proposals for the August meeting. She had some vacation time that she was using, so she was not able to get that to us before our board meeting today. And at that meeting, we will review and discuss those proposals and the decision on the avenue of the library, which is to take in moving forward with an addition of a activity meeting room in the youth services department. So. Long-range plan development continues. We did our library tours, and I'm currently putting all together a report of our findings, and we'll present that at the September board meeting. I'm going to be working with Erica Brewster and Art Lurch on a survey that will be going out to the community in paper format. We also have it in digital format also. We have the space needs study that we just did, so I can I'm relying upon the information that we gathered from those focus groups during that time. Art felt that was probably, that would be good information to work from, and just thought that surveys would be a good addition. So that's how we're moving in that direction. So while the timing, let's see, we've got Mike Kayla, had that in there. Already introduced at the beginning. Over the next several weeks, as I mentioned in my report, I will work with Mike and Chris and have them come in and meet with me to go through their Board of Trustee orientation. That is the state requires that we do. So I will get in contact with you, Mike, and set up a time to do that. Okay. And then just mentioning all of the great tools that DPI has now created and has purchased for trustees and other friends groups. They have some trustee trainings online, and I gave you all of those. If you have the digital version, those are all live links that'll take you to those resources where you can sign up for an account. So if you, for the one, let's see, so we've got the Wisconsin trustee training, that is kind of a free thing. The other resource through the United at ALA.org is a paid for resource. So it is required that you sign up for an account because they need to keep track of numbers, so for statistics. So if you're interested in doing that, and you can do it, and it's an on your own type thing, So whenever and if you see a resource that might interest you and something that might be you'll find interesting and you think will be beneficial for you, go ahead and take a look at it.
And it's no charge to the trustee?
That is no charge to the trustees, that is all paid for through the state, so. Okay. Again, I'm just gonna mention that on August 26th, everyone is invited out to the Fromm Estate. I'd set up a tour from 12:30 to 1:30. And then from 1:30 to 2:30, there'll just be a really light lunch because their volunteers like to leave by 2:30 sharp. So they'll be grab and go bag.
And I won't make it.
Oh, bugger. Bugger.
I'd like to see that.
I get his lunch.
You get us.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Laura? I'll entertain a motion. I have nothing to bring up other than, like I said, we need a personnel and finance committee member. Congratulations again, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.